Welcome to Ask A Filmmaker.
Hi, we are here with Ask A Filmmaker Podcast, Episode 2, and I'm here with Vienna Hayden, and we're just going to jump right into this. So give us a little introduction about yourself, and we'll just go from there.
All right. I like to say I'm a wearer of many hats. I'm a filmmaker, I'm an actress, I'm a producer, I'm a writer, I cosplay, and I've got a little bit of a business side as well. So, find me a hat, I'll find a fit.
I love that because that's what we do is many, many things. And it's not about hustling. It's about using our talents and our skills, right?
Exactly.
So why don't you tell me about, let's just jump into the film side right away.
Totally.
So talk about some of the film projects you're working on right this minute.
So I'm in pre-production on a really fun one called Granny's Treasures. It's a short comedy. It's about a junk collecting granny who invites her grandkids and her new handyman over for Christmas dinner. And they find out that her latest treasures happen to be sex toys, but Granny doesn't realize they're sex toys. So she's juicing lemons on a butt plug. She's using a dildo to roll out cookie dough, and everyone is absolutely appalled. So it's got a fun little twist at the end.
So I think you have some interesting props.
Oh, prop shopping has been, I've never had more fun with art direction on a film.
The BTS and the stories behind the BTS is probably what's going to be, because, BTS could mean so many things when we're talking about this.
Dear God. So I went into a sex shop in LA and I told the guy what I was looking for because I had to find like the perfect dildo. It has to be something where it doesn't look too penile, phallic, but still where the audience will see it and go, oh my God, that's a dildo. So I'm telling the guy what I'm looking for.
Right.
Like a granny needs to be able to mistake this for a rolling pin. So it needs to be like longer, but not have like balls at the end. And I've never had to like do something like this. So it's so funny. And he looks at me, he's like, I have just the thing. And he goes and he pulls out this long, pink, schlong looking thing. I'm like,
Oh my
that's
God,
it. That's the
perfect.
rolling pin.
Oh my goodness, that's so crazy. So for the film ideas, where are those coming from?
Honestly, I am usually inspired by friends and family and things happening around me. So my granny's character is inspired by my actual granny. The woman is a total hoarder. Like,
That's the best.
she just doesn't buy sex toys, but we got this bright idea one day walking in her house and I'm like, oh my God, what if she just happened to have like all these sex toys and didn't realize they were sex toys and
my
was
goodness.
using them for, so I start thinking like, okay, what everyday uses could you use sex toys for?
Mm-hmm.
And it would mistakenly be something that an innocent granny would do.
Yeah, that sounds like a perfect story.
And then we had to come up with like the overall punchline at the end, which is hilarious. I am so excited. I have a name actor coming in from LA who's
nice.
just incredible. I'm really excited to have him work because he's comedically genius.
Oh, that's great.
Oh my God.
And I think we need more comedies, right? I mean,
Dude, we need to laugh.
Oh gosh, I mean, there's so many great dramas out there, but it's time for comedy, I think.
Yeah, I'm all about comedy. I mean, I make a lot of horror stuff and thrillers because they sell in
Right.
our world. That's where the money's at. But comedy, I mean, it's hard to do, but if you do it right,
Right.
God, getting the laughs from people in an audience and hearing a theater just like,
And coming up with unique storylines, right?
Yes.
And like something like this, which is crazy. So you travel back and forth between Arizona and LA.
I do.
So talk about your experience with, let's just talk about how film has changed your life.
So I have 2 small kids and I'm married and I'm spending 50% of my time in LA. And right now it's been between Airbnbs because I had a condo deal fall through. So I've been dealing with like the real estate aspect of it and trying to figure out that part of my life. But things have picked up so much in terms of the print work, the commercial work. And I've all of a sudden landed a Netflix series as a recur. And I've got
Nice.
a couple of feature films that are coming through. So things are like on the up and up, but it
Nice.
takes away from
Yeah.
the
Well,
life.
it's a balancing thing,
Yeah,
right?
it really is.
And what really drove you to do film? What was that one thing that flipped the switch in your head?
For me, it's been something I've done since I was a kid. I had radio shows and I made movies all growing up. Like I always had the camcorder, always doing this stuff. At 12, my uncle actually wanted to take me to Hollywood and make me a movie star. And my mom was like, hell no, that's never going to happen. I come from doctors and lawyers and engineers. And so they had this idea that I was going to go to college and get a degree. And so I did. And then when the market tanked and I got laid off from construction and real estate, I said, I'm going to pursue it. I'm just going to go for it.
Right.
I didn't like the roles I was getting as an actress, though. You know, when you have blonde hair and big boobs, you tend to get pinned in the stripper and prostitute and other woman
Stereotype
roles.
roles, right?
So I said, you know what? I'm an engineer. I've got a brain. I love Star Trek. I'm just going to make my own. So I built the bridge in my garage of the original series Enterprise, and I made my own Star Trek web series.
That is so awesome. So now where can they find that? Where's that at?
It's on YouTube.
Okay.
It's under my old married name, so it's a
Okay.
little bit more difficult, but I post links periodically on my social media.
Nice.
Yeah.
And okay, so your current platforms that you're using Patreon, right?
I've got Patreon, I've got Instagram, I've got Facebook, I've got Twitter, I have TikTok. Am I getting all of them?
Okay, well, those
So
are
many.
great. So what I'm going to ask you is to make sure you provide all that information so I can
absolutely.
include it in the show, and we'll put it
Definitely.
at the end so everybody can find out how to get a hold of you.
Oh, yeah.
I know that I was just at AFM, and I know you were in California at the same time, and you hit some things at AFM.
Yeah.
So tell me about that experience, because I know I had a great time there. Share a little bit.
It was wonderful. So I didn't end up getting a day pass or a pass or whatever till the very last second. And I had a friend who was selling one of his films there.
Yeah.
And I decided, you know what, I'm just going to go give it a shot and see who I can meet. And I ended up meeting some really great people. I connected with some distributors. And like, I don't have a film that's finished where I'm ready to sell it at this point.
Yeah.
But I made a couple of pre-sales connections where I've actually got some people from HBO looking at my Serial Blonde script right now and considering it to start gathering some pre-sales and take it in to get packaged. So if
That's nice.
if that works out, then, you know, Serial Blondes is going to be taking off here in the next quarter or so, I think.
No, that's great. Well, and that's honestly, I think one of the things I shared with you from AFM is that we are going to do like a little debrief to help people understand how important it is and the number of connections you can make. And just by getting into the system, first off, you get like a year access to the people that are
it's
part of the
incredible,
program.
the
It's like-
resources.
it's amazing. And the education that I got out of it, because I was able to go to the workshops and some of the conference series, was just invaluable in that basically they're giving you what not only the current trends are, but where things are going.
Yes.
So you can actually plan and prepare and get ready. So, and I know this is, like you said, you use your brains. It's not just about looks and beauty.
exactly.
It is a business. And a lot of people, when you get into this, first off, you have to love it. Because if you
do.
don't love it, you're gonna hate all the work that it actually is. Because I don't sleep really like at all. Like,
Wait, sleep? What's that?
I don't know what that is.
That's why I have dark circles. Thank God for great concealer.
Yeah, no doubt. And I wear my glasses and it's a little shadowy, so you can't really tell.
It's all about the contrast.
But I mean, for real, that's what it is like this business, you really have to love what it is that you're doing and then just forget everything else, because life is still going to happen. You're still going to have the ups and downs. This is what I know. But that's the thing that I've seen with you is that you've gone through, from the first time I met you was on Serial Blondes, the first rev of it when you had first started doing that.
Yeah.
And that you had the opportunity to move, your life changed, you came back, your life's changed again, and life continues to change. So what I hear a lot of times is people have they have these stories about, well, why they couldn't do something, or, oh, it's too late. And I'm like, damn straight, it's not too late.
You know what? It's not about not doing it or it being too late. I see it as pivoting. And in the finance world and in the business world, you know, you come up with a plan, you come up with an idea, and you take it to market to raise financing for it. And with Serial Blondes, like, it's been a year and a half in the making now, and I've pivoted so many times. I started off at a certain budget level and it's gone here, there, boom. And as I learn new trends, as I learn new things in the marketplace, or I find ways that, oh, that's an avenue, that's a possibility, I just pivot and go with the flow. And ultimately it's leading towards me packaging the film and doing it the way I want to, because I could have made it a year ago on $100,000 and I didn't want to make $100,000 B movie.
Right.
I want this to be a project that really represents women in this day and age. I mean, you talk about the Me Too movement, and yes, it's an issue with all the rapes and things that we've heard about, but there's another side to it that we don't talk about enough, and that's the objectification. When I walk into a room, if I was to walk into a room with another man, that man is not going to be objectified the same way that I am. Most of the men in that room look at me and go, how can I sleep with her? They don't go, oh, how can we do a deal together? And that's the thing that I have to try to overcome. It doesn't matter if my hair's pinned back and I'm dressed up to like, turtlenecks and business jackets. They look at me that particular way. And that's what Serial Blondes is ultimately about. It's about killing the men who objectify us because we're using objectification as our weapon.
Because that's a good choice.
It's great. In the movies, it's great, okay?
Yes, and it is. And that's where,
Why we make movies.
I mean, honestly, I love serial killers, and I'll say this online. Yeah, I do. Because
they're fun.
there is so much psychology that goes into it. And it's not...
It's
so
an
it's
emotional
not,
depth
Yes,
to it.
exactly. And that's the thing is, like, with these characters that we get to develop in film as filmmakers, which is what, really we were talking about, is we have this ability to be able to change the perspective of other people by the stories that we tell. And that's exactly what you're
we want to
talking
make things
about.
that are provocative too.
Exactly.
Nobody's
Yes.
paying to see something for 2 hours so that we can be nice. Niceness is the
No.
venereal disease of getting at truth.
Yeah, it is so true because it is not nice. Nothing is nice in life, really.
We
in
shouldn't
all
be.
honesty.
Society has domesticated us.
Right.
Movies are our freedom of expression to do whatever the heck we want to do.
And it's a fantasy world that you can live in or not. It can be the hell that it is.
Yeah.
Right? And that's
Exactly.
the truth. And so that leads me to your favorite genre of film and what film represents that best for you.
Oh my goodness. Most people would make fun of me for saying this, and I'm perfectly okay with it. So first of all, comedy is by far my favorite.
Okay.
I can't write anything without having jokes in it. It's just how I am.
Right.
And White Chicks is that one
my God,
movie for me.
that is so hilarious.
I sit down, and if I'm having a bad day, if I just need to like decompress, I just need to hear some White Chicks. I need to hear their crazy yo mama jokes. I need to hear Terry Crews at the end. It's like, you're not white. Just, I don't know what it is about that movie.
Right.
Some
It is
people
so
think
funny.
it's dumb. I think it's the greatest thing, and they're making White Chicks too.
Oh,
Like,
yes,
please
right.
find a way to get me in that movie.
No, it is true. That one is like a really great one. And when you look at it, you're like, oh, how serious is this? This is not about being serious.
No.
Like, and if you're doing film with the idea that you're going to change the world. Now, documentaries, yes.
different
Documentaries,
story, but that's a different audience.
Different audience, different everything. And that's one of the areas that I'm getting into. But on the flip side of it, the comedy, the drama, the horror, all of those things are because these are the things that I want to be able to tell people so that their minds can expand and that they can see things differently and they can feel things, because that's important to me. I've been watching a lot of Korean New Wave films, and
Oh my gosh.
God,
They know how to pull those heartstrings.
Woo!
You talk about an emotional journey.
And that's the kind of film that I want to be able to tell. So give me an example of, like, you've shared the one about the grandma, right?
Yes.
So share something else that you might be working on for a future, or something that you can share information on.
I've got 2 other features right now that are fully written and ready to go. I'm
Okay.
packaging them with Serial Blondes. One is called The Wedding Bus. And
Oh.
believe it or not, when I got married the first time, I'm married twice now. The first time we wanted to get married in San Diego and living in Phoenix, my whole family's in Phoenix. And so my stepdad looks at us and he goes, well, how are we getting everyone to San Diego from Phoenix? I'm like, I don't know. They can just figure it out. He looks at me. He's like, I've got it. Let's just rent a bus and throw them all on it. Now we got my stepdad's family. We've got my mom's family, my drunk dad who his crazy family, and his dad's a sugar daddy and has like young hot things. Any gal over 30 was too old for him.
Oh my
so
gosh.
I got these crazy characters and all of them putting them on a bus. I'm like, you're insane. That's a horrible idea, but I'm going to write that script.
Yeah, no,
So that's the
totally.
wedding bus. It's My Big Fat Greek Wedding meets Little Miss Sunshine.
So did you actually do that though?
Oh no.
Or no? Oh, that was just the story.
That's just the story.
Oh my God, it's so good. I thought it might be real.
Well, it is going to be real on screen.
No, that's great. I mean,
But it's an emotional journey because when
Nice.
I also write comedy, there's a dramedy element. And my family for years has never gotten along. And ultimately, the character arcs that I took their characters and created these really cool things out of, they go on these amazing emotional journeys
Right.
and reach these climaxes at the end where it's like, wow, that is so beautiful. All this craziness twists into like this churro of just delicious drama that leads up to something where you're going, okay, that's just warm and heartfelt. And you go on the emotional journey with them.
right. Well, and you do have a little Italian spice, right? Somewhere in
do.
your life.
I do. I married an Italian.
Exactly. So, I mean, come on. This is all Italians I know are spicy, and it's crazy, and it's never a straight line.
Yeah. But I do have another drama that I've been working on. So my opa escaped Hitler in World War II, immigrated from Austria to Bulgaria to the U.S., joined the OSS, fought in World War II, came back, got his PhD in geography, and apparently never left the OSS, which became the CIA. We found out when he died because the CIA called us and said, "We want to thank your grandfather for 44 years of service." And we're like, what?
Oh my God.
So I'm making that script.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going to play my Oma, my grandmother's character, which was his wife.
Wow. So like Meet the Fockers a little bit,
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
And instead of a florist, he was a geographer.
Right. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
but it's so cool. And I've made some interesting Jewish connections because I found out he helped Jews escape Hitler from Austria.
gosh.
So he's like real life Captain from The Sound of Music. He's literally like Captain Von Trapp. Voice,
Whoa.
everything, his look
That
is
is
just like Christopher Plummer.
That's like some history right here that's going to be
Crazy.
shared as a result of this, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is amazing.
I know.
Well, we're
So
going to take a quick break because this is like an excellent note to stop on.
Yes, very much.
Yeah, teaser. So we'll come back with more. So we'll be right back. Today's t-shirt sponsor is Where to Start. They make custom apparel for all different types of events and businesses. We have all our business shirts printed by Where to Start. Check them out today. We're back, and we ended on a great note about this information she found out about her grandfather, right?
Yes.
So with these kind of inspirations, do you have like well, you were talking already about trying to come up with like a slate of films.
Oh, yeah.
Like, give one idea of how you think we can change the industry as filmmakers.
I think that figuring out a way to leverage the crowdfunding that's available out there and pool money into creating a diverse slate of films where we're attacking various genres and leveraging various niche markets and audiences who want and demand those types of films or that type of content. And then being able to set filmmaking teams out there who specialize in creating those things. And we can create micro budget films. It has to be quality because people don't want non-quality. I mean, with this day and age, we have the ability to create quality content on a very low budget and then being able to sell those things and create, a sustainable revenue coming in on it.
Yeah. And like, I love that idea because what I'm seeing, not only with micro, well-managed budgets for quality, the opportunity to make film is everywhere.
It is.
At AFM, like I talked to, Tokyo Film Commission, Lithuania, I mentioned the last time, but even in our own backyard, there are so many creative ways, first to find locations, to actually do everything above board, right? Where you're actually following the rules that people want you to follow for the big industry and all of that.
Well, you have to get distributed.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the important thing is there's a lot of people that think, well, no, you have to do everything for free and you can't pay anybody. And it's like, no, you can totally, if you budget properly, even if you can't do like the full rates, you can do partial rates, and then you can work out deals that once you get something sold, it's out there.
You make deals for points on the back end and things like that.
Yeah, and so that to me is like a creative way of looking at it for sure. And to me, it's about people coming together, like you said, creating collectives, creating kind of the groups that can exist and coexist, right? Yes. Because I always have looked at this that it doesn't matter who's doing what, there's opportunity for everybody.
Absolutely. I believe the same thing. And, I think another thing that we need to start looking at as well is with YouTube changing their algorithm. And so the ad revenue has been diminished for those of us who aren't at like that top upper echelon.
Right.
Patreon has been a really amazing, market disruptor in that regard, in that a lot of YouTubers are taking their followings and funneling them into a Patreon following where they're getting a monthly stipend, albeit $5-10 a month, but you get a few thousand people paying that. Now you have a sustainable revenue line coming in where you can create content. And the content consumers today aren't able to take in a full feature film. I mean, we're looking at people who want to binge episodes.
Right.
And so creating 5, 10, 15 minute episode bits that people can consume on a tiny basis and rather than watching a full feature length film. that's really becoming a thing. And so I've got a couple of web series I'm working on right now for that reason.
No, and I know like on Instagram in particular, like you've killed it like on your growth like over the last year, which has been really great. And I pay attention to social media a little bit. Just a little bit. And it's not because, but here's the trick. I'm not on social media 24/7, guys. I am not.
I'm not either.
There is no way I have time.
Kids.
I can't. I have too many other work things that I'm doing. So there's ways that you can do it and still be successful, but you have to come up with like your own methodology, right? What works for you and apply it and be consistent. To me, that's probably about the biggest thing is consistency. And you're always putting out fresh content, which I love.
Yeah.
I mean, your photo shoots are amazing, number one.
Thank you.
Like I just totally love. I mean, they're so creative, and I mean, they're edgy, and you're not afraid to do anything.
Nope.
That leads to my next question. What's the craziest thing that you've ever done in film or for a photo shoot?
All right. Well, I've done a few crazy things. So my first feature, I started writing my book, which is called Directing Naked, because I wrote, directed, produced, financed, and starred in the film. And I financed it by donating my eggs. And then I was naked for a lot of scenes, not like full frontal or anything like that. But I mean, to do love scenes, a lot of times we're nude to be able to portray things correctly. And so I'm sitting there having to direct my director of photography, my grip, my gaffer, and all this stuff. And being in a love scene and having to maintain character, but still have the shot list and make sure that the first AD is doing their job. That was nuts. I'm not going to ever do that again. But I mean,
you have done it, so that's the record right there. There you go.
And then I body painted myself as Buzz Lightyear.
Nice.
That was a fun one.
Oh my God.
I called it my booty buzz. I had a jetpack. That's the only thing that's not body paint. But it was super fun. And I mean, you can see everything, but you can't see everything. Like this is cloned out. So it's not like a porny type of thing. But I love the fact that cameras can help you cheat. Like I did a full nude photo shoot with Halloween candy, and I did that for some of my higher level patrons, but I showed nothing by showing everything. And it's all about hiding things strategically with camera angles and body parts, twisted and contorted.
And I think that's the beauty of the creation, right? Is that you can do that. And to your point, like the whole cosplay, items that you've been doing, like the characters, do you have only go-to characters, or do you have ones that you're developing or a wide range that you're going to look at doing for the future?
Both. So my main cosplay is the Borg Queen. That has been my dream for decades.
And that is amazing. What you did for, was it Comic-Con, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God. I have to say, yes. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, I would like to take my picture with her as a Borg Queen.
Please do. I'm making a Borg Queen fan film.
Oh, yes.
Borg Queen Supremacy will be coming soon.
Yes, that would be amazing. So, yes.
Resistance is futile.
You've done it so well, and you found the right people to work with you to help to create that, which is amazing. And I think that's part of it, is because first off, you can do a lot of things yourself, but you've also created a team of people that you can count on that will work with you on this. So talk a little bit about that.
So I have two dear friends. Really, I've got like 4 dear friends. One that I work with the most is my friend Jessica. She's a photographer, and she's building out like her dance business, but we leverage each other so that we can build, I'm building out the cosplay, and she's churning out photos as well. And we cross promote that way.
Nice.
And so we're doing some interesting things there. Steven Fellheimer helps me out quite a bit.
Great.
Shannon Dia has been absolutely amazing. Like some of the dark and moody stuff she's done. Like if I've got something really dark and horrific, I'm like, Shannon. So she did like some of the Borg Queen stuff.
I love Shannon because she's like, I've had some of my best photo shoots with her.
Oh, she's amazing.
And
Kevin too. Kevin will
exactly.
get like some behind the scenes video and stuff.
So
that's
awesome.
And we just have fun.
Oh,
that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So, I've got a really cool team together. And as I start to monetize Patreon a little bit more, the idea is that the monetization is going to monetize my team so that we can afford to start doing it more professionally and put out better content for the patrons.
Right.
And that's what it's all about.
Yeah. And then I interrupted you, so forgive me for that. But you were talking about the Borg Queen. So what are the other characters? I didn't let you finish that, so please do that.
I started looking back through my photos recently, and I realized, wow, taking a step back, I tend to really enjoy doing the gender bend cosplays. And what I mean, I dress like a lot of the male characters, but I do my own sexy female version. Like I have like an effeminate version of them.
Nice.
And so also, like my latest one, I did Han Solo. And I dressed my pug up as Chewie, which was so much fun.
Oh my God, that's
It was ridiculous.
I love that.
And so for that one,
my
I'm actually going to
gosh.
do Slave Leia and make him Jabba the Hutt.
Oh my goodness, that is.
I love being goofy that way too.
And that's a fun side of it. So
yeah, Chucky. And then I did my own sexy version of Captain America, Buzz Lightyear. So if you start looking, I'm going, wow, I do a lot of gender bends.
Yeah,
But I have Captain Marvel coming because of my Revengers fan series. So it's the Avengers meets the Office, and I've slightly altered the name, so I will be Major Marvelous. But I'm going to be Captain Marvel and doing some really cool photo shoots there too. And I'm doing Endgame Captain Marvel.
Oh, nice.
I just need the pants to be tighter because the butt is just a little baggy looking, and nobody wants a baggy butt, honey.
No, it's true. They don't.
So,
wow.
gonna work on that part.
So that's great. I like that. So let me think. So if I want to come up with a crazy question to ask you.
Oh, please. I love crazy. The crazier the better. Oh,
so if you could do a film with somebody, but you had to give up your firstborn child to do a film with, who is that person you would want to do film with?
Hugh Jackman.
Oh, nice.
It should be like Patrick Stewart or William Shatner, somebody's Star Trek, maybe Mark Hamill. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
I love Hugh Jackman. Okay. He has like crossed over into musicals. He's been in X-Men.
Yes.
He's done so many things. And like everyone has that one celebrity crush. Right. He's mine. I mean, I'd probably fight him for my firstborn child. He'd bust out the Wolverine claws, and then I'd have to go Captain Marvel on his ass. But
yeah,
whatever.
exactly. No, and I loved
My firstborn child would fight him too.
Yeah, of course he would. Logan with Hugh
Oh
Jackman.
my gosh!
I think that was
film.
I think that was my all-time favorite with him. So
Yeah, he did. But here's the thing: I really, really love The Greatest Showman. Like, I was singing those songs on the way here.
that is so awesome. I love that because. I mean, that is what I look at is why I love to watch film so much is because I get to see what other people have done and I can aspire to do what they've done or to do something different and,
He was in
be
Les
creative.
He was in The Greatest Show. Like, the man can sing, the man can dance, he can act well. Like, he does
musicals
everything.
are amazing and anybody that can cross over. I
Oh
mean,
my gosh.
And there are quite a few of them that actually do, which is surprising. But the thing is they come from that rich background of doing that. So I think it's fabulous. But that's an excellent choice. I love that.
And I have to say Terry Crews too. I love Terry Crews. I mean, after White Chicks. When he was singing, making my way downtown. And I need you. The shoulders, like, I can't even. That man is just.
Oh, yeah.
He is so amazing.
Great.
His energy is just intoxicating. Like, between he and Hugh Jackman, I just love their energy and their positive outlook in life. Like, they're the kind of person you would meet and just, you never want to walk away from the conversation because you would just be laughing and smiling and enjoying yourself the entire time.
I mean, I think it's, I totally get that. And that's what I love. I love how they can make it so visceral. So this leads us to our close now. So what I'd like you to do is share what's that one last thing that you want everybody to know about and how they can help you.
So the big thing on my plate right now is my Borg Queen film. No one has ever done a Borg Queen film that is from the Borg Queen's perspective and explored what the Borg want. So it's really an exploration of this existential conversation on humanity between the Borg Queen and Jean-Luc Picard and looking at, why are the Borg so fascinated by humanity? What does she really want with Jean-Luc? And I'm taking a deep dive into that, and I'm staying true to the franchise, but I want to do the fans a service because it's so interesting to dive into something and really take my cosplay that I've created and bring it to life in the most amazing way. But taking it a step further, beyond that, it is my screen test to show all the casting directors, agents, managers, the production team behind Star Trek Picard that I should be the next Borg Queen. In Star Trek Picard, that I should be the one tormenting Picard. He's having the flashbacks of being Locutus. I want to bring that out of him. And what better than to make a fan film that the fans can get behind and make it for my cosplay fans.
I think that's amazing.
But show them my acting chops. And it's hard. I mean, I wrote a very difficult piece, but it is so cool. I mean, the twist at the end is fabulous too.
No, and that's exactly, I mean, making yourself a unique character, but something that actually blends into that world is beautiful. And I think that's it.
If I can get one episode.
Oh yeah,
one episode as a guest star, I would be the happiest person on earth. Then I have an excuse to take my board queen to every Comic-Con, every Star Trek convention. I'd be on cloud nine.
No, and that's amazing. So this is how the audience can help you, is if they know how to get a hold of you, right?
Yes.
So share all of your information, because you definitely want to support her. She is going up, 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 up. and no, and I'm serious. And this is why we have her on the show, because I want to promote everything that you're doing, which is so awesome. So share your information, and we'll have it at the end in a little tail, slate there, where all the details and contact information.
So Instagram is one of my primary platforms. You can find me at Vienna Hayden, VIENNA HAYDEN. And I'm at Vienna Hayden pretty much on every other platform. Vienna Hayden Official on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter at Vienna Hayden. TikTok is Vienna Hayden. What other platforms am I missing? Patreon, Vienna Hayden.
Yes, you got to do that one. And then, of course, anything new that's up and coming, we'll be sharing for any of the stuff that you have. Just let us know. We'll
I'll be putting all the
obviously
updates out there.
have you back on the show again. That's
heck yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then,
because we like talking.
Oh yeah, we do. Just in general. It doesn't matter what it is. Like we see each other and it's like, well, yeah. It could be a show all by itself. Yeah, pretty much all by itself. All right. Well, stay tuned for this episode. We'll get it out as soon as possible. And then stay connected to our platforms, which is pretty easy as well. It's Ask A Filmmaker, pretty much everywhere as well. And then our website, or actually our email, is askafilmmakernow@gmail.com. So if you're interested in submitting or sponsoring, and I forgot, I have to do a shout out to my t-shirt sponsor for today, which is Where to Start from Larry. She made this t-shirt special for me, and it says Lady Boss. She does amazing t-shirts. Pretty much all my company t-shirts I order from her. And we are going to have podcast t-shirts and some other promo stuff that we'll be able to share with our guests.
We should get a Lady Borg shirt.
Oh, yes, I think that would be amazing.
Resistance is futile. Make sure you follow this girl.
Exactly. So stay tuned, and we will bring you more.